And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today, as always. We are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alright, today is a big old Sunday. Not too big, but, decently big Sunday out here. We're going to continue on with our NFL Draft Prospect of the Day. We are on day 58 of that 73 NFL Day Countdown. We're going to be looking at Greg Newsome, cornerback from Northwestern today, seeing what that man's all about. And then breaking down the NBA from last night, doing a moneymaker for tonight's action. We went to 2-2 in our moneymaker from yesterday. Unfortunately, the Nets. Come on. Can we not buy this Nets team without James Harden? Because that's what it's looking like. James Harden wasn't having these problems, ejecting problems, losing to the Lakers problems without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But, whatever. Y'all want to still keep, sucking Kyrie, that's fine. I get it. He's a great player, but man, oh man, sometimes, man, most of the time, truly, I just cannot with Kyrie sometimes. And last night was one of those times. Getting ejected, not winning the game, not even being in the lead before he got ejected. It's just, it's a mess over there with the Nets without James Harden, truly. So we got that today on the show. And then, just a couple of stories. A little light here on the stories, a typical Sunday. So let's just start the show here. Here we go. Whoa. That wasn't it. This is what I wanted to show. Where is it? Forgot to actually click on the tweet. Here it is. Alrighty. So, imagine the Cowboys offense with Kyle Pitts, and yeah, I'm kind of about it. I'm kind of about this Cowboys offense if they drafted tight end Kyle Pitts. So, this is what it would be looking like if they did that. They obviously, Dak Prescott's the quarterback, obviously. Zeke Elliott's still the running back, but then you got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and then Kyle Pitts at the tight end position. Those are all kind of all A1, tier 1 pass catchers out there. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb's been absolutely great. What is he, 2 years in, 1 year? Yeah, 2 years in, I think. And then Michael Gallup, a reliable number 3. And then you've got that big, old, strong, fast, catching tight end of Kyle Pitts, who we are absolutely in love with here at Takes by Fans. Easily going to be the first tight end drafted in this draft this year. Hands down, no doubt. Definitely mirroring what kind of Darren Waller has been doing all last season for the Raiders. Just being kind of their primary ball catcher there over there in Las Vegas. So he can definitely get it done. Kyle Pitts, I'm loving what I'm seeing already, and I'm definitely hoping he can kind of live up to all the hype, because it is kind of a lot of hype around this man. So, can the Cowboys get Kyle Pitts? Now, that's the next question. Yeah, we love Kyle Pitts with this kind of offense, but can he fall down to where the Cowboys are drafting? Alrighty, so here is the first round. He's easily going to go first round. So let's see what we got here. Jacksonville Jaguars picking number 1 are obviously getting Trevor Lawrence. The Jets are getting a quarterback. Which one? We're still not really sure. 49ers, same thing. We know they're getting a quarterback. Whichever one the Jets don't choose, that's going to be the one that the 49ers get. And now this is kind of where we get into some uncharted territory. The Falcons here at number 4. They are keeping Matt Ryan. They have their 2 wide receivers, Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, very good out there. Not a really great running game at the current moment. We saw that they just tried to kind of revive Todd Gurley a little bit. That didn't work too great. So we'll see if he's going to kind of be their he's going to be their primary back this year, or maybe they get somebody at number 4. They've got their pick of the crop here at running back if that's what they want to do. Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, they can get whichever one they want. So, and then we've also heard the Falcons trading back from that number 4 spot. So maybe if the Cowboys truly want Kyle Pitts, they can go up and get him at number 4. So let's just kind of keep a big old question mark here at number 4. Kyle Pitts could go to the Falcons. They could use a good old catching tight end to kind of get that offense absolutely magnificent, or maybe they shore up their offensive line because, Matt Ryan's having no time to throw back there. So Potential of Kyle Pitts at number 4. Cincinnati Bengals at number 5. We just heard the general manager say, hey, we can get offensive line talent later in this draft, so expect them to go and get a nice kind of feature back or a nice wide receiver. We know they just lost A.J. Green, officially no longer with the Bengals, so, they could be getting a weapon of, Devontae Smith, Lamar Chase, so the Bengals getting a tight end at 5 is potential, but I think they're going to go with another kind of big kind of name here, wide receiver or a running back. The Dolphins at number 6 are definitely getting a wide receiver or a running back. I think we're going to go and get Devontae Smith if he's there, but I don't see the Dolphins taking Kyle Pitts at number 6. All right, the Lions now. I mean, they got, who is that? Hawkinson? What's their tight end? Yeah, TJ Hawkinson. I think he had a pretty good year last year. I think he had like 700 yards receiving. Yeah, 726, 6 touchdowns. So don't think they're kind of going to go for a tight end there at number 7. The Panthers at number 8, they don't really have a tight end, but their offense is still pretty good, pretty solid. We just saw them bring in Sam Darnold. And I think the Carolina Panthers are going to kind of really go heavy defensively in this draft. I think they're fine offensively, especially kind of Matt Rule's thinking, hey, we're getting a new quarterback. That's kind of really going to shore up our offense in his mind. Not in my mind. I still think Teddy Bridgewater's got it done. But they still got, Christian McCaffrey coming back. They've got some nice wide receivers still. So I think Carolina is going to focus defensive end of the ball here in the first round. So I don't see Kyle Pitts going to Carolina at number 8. And then we only have the Denver Broncos at number 9, and they got Noah Fant. So I don't really see them getting Kyle Pitts. They can, and it'd be a great duo, absolutely. But I think they'll go in a different direction here at number 9. And then there's the Cowboys at number 10 for Kyle Pitts. So the really only teams that they have to really worry about are the Falcons at 4. And that's really it. I mean, the Falcons are really the only top 10 team here I see in the draft that really could go and get a tight end compared to, all this other great talent on the offensive side of the ball, which I think most of these teams in the top 10 are going to go towards the wide receivers and the running backs, not really the tight end. So it could happen, folks. Kyle Pitts to the Cowboys, and then it's just going to be up to Mike McCarthy if he's able to kind of be a good coach on this team, because this is an absolute stacked roster. It was an absolute stacked roster last season, but then Dak went down, Andy Dalton couldn't even be serviceable, and Ezekiel Elliott really just went ghost mode the entire season. So hopefully that doesn't happen next season, and if they get Kyle Pitts, there is no excuses for them to at least win the NFC East, and then really get to the NFC Championship game. I mean, come on, look at this roster. Look at this explosive offensive roster. It would be amazing to see. Alrighty, next story up. Alrighty, Kadarius Tony. He's an NFL draft prospect here, wide receiver from Florida, and we loved what we saw from him. We already kind of broke him down in our NFL draft prospect of the day, and we loved his speed. He's got great speed, and he's kind of a little bit of a weeble wobble out there. You cannot bring this man down unless you've got like 4 guys tackling him. So if you're only going to bring one guy to tackle him, he's going to break it. Shoulder tackles, arm tackles, shoestring tackles, he's going to be able to break all of that and stay on his feet, and then burn you for the rest of, the 40, 50 yards that, is between him and the end zone that he will go and capitalize. So we love this man. He's a great talent, definitely in kind of this second tier of wide receiver talent in this year's draft. Obviously, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle even, those are the top tier wide receivers. And I think we can definitely put Kadarius Tony in probably that second tier. Absolutely. Probably, top of the line, front of the line, top or second tier. But here we go. Kadarius Tony said last week he can throw the ball 80 or 90 yards. Obviously, absolutely insane for a quarterback, let alone a freaking wide receiver. So, and we know, in the NFL, you get, these passes like this one right here, these kind of fakes of, the quarterback hands it off or tosses it to the wide receiver, and then he comes back across the opposite side of the field and throws the ball downfield. We saw that all the time. We see it all the time. I mean, there's at least every single season, there's at least one time of we hear, oh, did you know this wide receiver used to play quarterback in college and he could still throw the ball? Watch out for a trick play. I mean, we see, I think, Danny Amendola, is that right? Am I getting the right guy there, that right kind of slot receiver, Danny Amendola, I think, that, has been, throwing the ball, and we've seen him do the fakes here. So here it is, Kadarius Tony's play here. He's launching this from about the 20-yard line, getting it all the way down to like the 35 on the other side. Let's kind of double down here on a yard marker. Is that 15? Well, let's call it the 20. Let's say he throws this one from the 20. It may actually be the... Is that the 10? Is that the gosh darn 10 he's throwing it from? Man, oh man. Is that the 10 all the way down to the 35-yard line? Is that 10 down to the 35-yard line? That is 55 yards clean, folks. Oh my God, and he's a wide receiver. So, yeah, if he says he can throw the ball 80 or 90 yards, who is us to say he's lying when he just launched this absolute bomb right here? So, not only is this man an absolute great wide receiver, but then he's got that great ball throwing skill as well to kind of capitalize on those fakes that we do and will see every single season in the NFL. I mean, we see plays like this time and time again, and if Kadarius Tony can do this, that just elevates his own draft stock, and we're big on him now. We've already been kind of big on him, but if he's got this talent as well, that just opens up all these possibilities, absolutely. So whichever team kind of gets this man, you got kind of a gadget guy as well as he's kind of a sure, solid wide receiver out there as well. So Kadarius Tony elevating his draft stock. This man can throw the ball too, and he's got some great talent at the wide receiver position too. So we'll see where he goes in the draft if he's a first rounder. But yeah, definitely a great pickup here if you're in the need for a wide receiver. Alrighty, we got a little article here about the best teams, the best fits for Richard Sherman, and they list the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Jets. All right, we're not going to go too deep. The only reason I want to bring this up is because they do put the Jets in this conversation, and I really think we have to start expecting that to not happen. I mean, when Robert Saleh first got that Jets job, that was when we should have seen him go and get Richard Sherman. They've been together. Richard Sherman's no longer with the 49ers. So, you know, he's available to go wherever he wants and sign whichever team he wants. So the more time goes by that Robert Saleh is not signing Richard Sherman, it's throwing up big red flags to me. How is Robert Saleh, his first time getting a head coaching job, not immediately going after and getting, great talent here in Richard Sherman because they've been playing together? So that just tells me that Robert Saleh is not truly impressed with Richard Sherman and doesn't really want him on his roster, which is not great. When you're a first-time head coach, you need to go and get players and coaches that you can 1,000% believe in, because you don't get that many opportunities as a head coach in this league. I mean, ask Todd Bowles. I don't think he'll get another shot because of that kind of poor performance with the Jets, and I'm not blaming it all on Todd Bowles. I'm just saying that happened. He was with the Jets. He was the head coach. They did not fare well. That's unfortunate, truly, but then he went back to being just a defensive coordinator and winning the Super Bowl. So he could still coach. I'm not saying that. He's not a good head coach. So you don't get that many opportunities to kind of prove that you're a good head coach in this league. So you need to go and get players that you can truly trust and truly count on, because they are kind of, in kind of charge of whether you stay as a head coach or not. Because if you're not winning in the NFL as a head coach, unfortunately, we're going to try and get a head coach that can and will win in this league. So it just throws up so many red flags that Richard Sherman has not already been picked up by Robert Saleh and the Jets here. So I think we have to start kind of, counting out the Jets that they're not going to sign him. Now, we can still wait till the draft. We still have the draft, so maybe Robert Saleh's looking to get cornerbacks in the draft, but Richard Sherman would still bring a veteran leadership presence to this very, very young, new, not knowing what a win is Jets team when they're going to have to get a rookie quarterback as well. So you don't even have Sam Darnold, who's kind of been there and like, yeah, I can kind of show you the ropes for 1 year, maybe easier transition at the head coaching position a little bit. No, you don't really have that. And they've got nothing. They've got no great talent on that Jets team, coming from last season to this season with Robert Saleh coming in as the head coach of the season. So it's just real weird. And Richard Sherman was praising the Jets as soon as Robert Saleh got there, kind of even before Robert Saleh got there, because I think he knew that's where Robert Saleh was going to go and get signed. And he was talking it up. He was telling free agents to come over with the Jets with him. He was like, yeah, I think he was basically like at the beginning before, he didn't get signed by the Jets. Richard Sherman was talking like, yeah, come here with me with the Jets. I know I'm not signed there yet, but I know I'm going there. I know Robert's out. Come on, me and Robert, we go way back. We go way back with those 49ers teams. Come on, he's obviously gonna take me, guys. So join me when I get there to the Jets, and join me with the Jets to these free agents that never signed with the Jets. He was telling Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, hey, come to the Jets and let's get this thing going. But we know Russell Wilson's not going to leave Seattle, but we still don't know what the heck's going on with Deshaun Watson there with all those sexual assault allegations. But yeah, man, it's just truly unfortunate. Maybe Richard Sherman has truly lost that stat from the Legion of Boom days, which would just be truly kind of crushing. And we know it is kind of hard to maintain consistent, solid, great success here in this league. All these quarterbacks being great for 10 to 15 year stretches are truly outliers out here. It's truly hard to kind of maintain the best at a position for more than 2 seasons straight. It is truly kind of wild, especially in this cornerback position. We see turnaround and great seasons, but then really falling off hard. Malcolm Butler had one good game and really can't be solid anywhere else. The Titans just let that man go. Richard Sherman with the Legion of Boom, that was really it, and we haven't really heard too much of him since really that point. So it is hard to kind of maintain success in this league, especially at the cornerback position. We see big name corners. We just saw Stephon Gilmore. He's kind of the new Richard Sherman, if you will. So we'll see where he goes. Raiders, Cowboys. Now, if he goes to the Raiders, hopefully he can kind of, elevate that defensive team a little bit, because they are just truly not good in the back half of the seasons under John Gruden. And then for the Cowboys, I mean, their defense, not very good last year. Definitely could maybe be a little bit better with Richard Sherman, but it's not a good fit over there. I mean, I hate Mike McCarthy as a coach. I will say that. I do not care. He is not a good coach in my opinion. He underperformed with Aaron Rodgers, and then that kind of all those allegations of him getting massages while the team was practicing. I mean, it just truly turns me off, and especially this season with the Cowboys after Dak Prescott went down. Even kind of before Dak Prescott went down, there was really just nothing, no urgency in that locker room. Nobody kind of performing at the level that we've seen them perform at, because Mike McCarthy's not elevating them or not getting them coached right to prepare for a game. And then after Dak Prescott went down, it's just like, all right, let's pack it up. We're done for the season. Zeke Elliott didn't do anything the entire season. Mike McCarthy couldn't coach up Andy Dalton. Come on, he's been in this league. He knows what it is to be a starter in this league with great weapons around him. I mean, and you still couldn't get him to win you the division with the division winner being only 7 wins. Come on. So if he goes to the Cowboys, they're still going to be trash. The Jets don't look to want to kind of pick him up. And the Raiders, I mean, I'm not a big fan of their coach either. So I truly think it may be a little unfortunate for Richard Sherman here. He may have to just not get a lot of money, maybe kind of settle for a very, very fraction of amount of money, and maybe join a championship contender, maybe. But man, oh man, him not getting picked up by Robert Saleh right now, big red flags. We'll see what happens after the draft. What is it? Like May 2nd, I think that's when the draft ends. After that, we'll start to see a lot more other kind of veterans get signed, because, let's see what we can do in the draft. And if we can't get into the draft, then we'll fill it through the veterans out here. But I still would have thought Robert Saleh, this would have been his initial signing. As soon as Robert Saleh got signed to the Jets head coach, he would have been like, all right, get Sherman on the phone. Let's get him here. Let's get him done. Let's kind of, start talking about next season. Let's start having him recruit some players, and let's just get his input as well, because I respect him as a player on and off the field, because I've worked with him, but we haven't seen that. So, all right, we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting, but I don't think he's going to the Jets anymore, man, truly. Alrighty, and then the last story to talk about, the Chris Paul effect. Yes, mother-loving sir. I freaking love Chris Paul. CP3 point guard, yes, sir. C3 pointer, yes, sir. Let's get it. So, alrighty, the Chris Paul effect, the record comparisons with his last 4 teams. We start with the Clippers, 32-50 the season before he got there, and then they go 40-26. Now, he did underperform very much with the Clippers in the kind of playoff scenarios, never getting to the Western Conference Finals, getting to like the semis, I think only once, kind of losing in the first round, never anything great there. And, with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, I mean, that was kind of, an OG big three, if you will. Blake Griffin was great back then. If y'all don't know OG BG Blake Griffin. If you only know this new Pistons or Nets Blake Griffin, that's not the BG that, was. So underperformed a little bit in the playoffs there with the Clippers, but still improved the team overall. Then he goes to the Rockets, who was, 55-27 with James Harden before he even got there, and then he was still able to elevate that team to a 65-17 record, 8+10, just with Chris Paul, even though they had James Harden on that team. And then he goes to the Thunder. Well, once again, he kind of underperforms a little bit with that Rockets team in the postseason. Truly unfortunate. Then he goes to the Thunder. They're 49-33, elevates them to 44-28. That was kind of, the bubble season, and they got to the second round of the playoffs there. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, and that team literally had nothing. And Chris Paul, it had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luguentz Dort. Truly nothing. We can call that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is good. I get it, folks. Do not come at me. I know there's a lot of SGA stands out there, and I get he's very good. But come on, at the end of the day, we're talking about, was he a rookie at that point? First year and 1 year experience, whatever it was. It's Chris Paul doing a lot of the work out there, facilitating the floor. So got them into the playoffs and I believe won the first round. And then he goes to the Suns this season, really just kind of getting it done as well. The season before, last season, they went 34-39, and already at this season, they've got 36 wins, 15 losses, already 2 more wins from the season before Chris Paul got there, even though the season, we still got a third of the season left. So he can get it done. He's a true facilitator out there on the floor. Everybody really buys in. He's a great leader, obviously, talking up all these other role players, especially on that Thunder team last season. That's truly the most impressive right here. Of these 4 teams right here, this Thunder team, of what he did with that Thunder team is the best thing. And then he's kind of carrying that over to the Suns, and they've got even better players, more consistent, better kind of superstar-esque players than that Thunder team had. Suns have DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker, obviously, and they're just getting it done in every facet of the game over there. So love what Chris Paul is doing. An absolute great player out here. He just needs to kind of get it done in the postseason. That's the only knock left on Chris Paul. He does not have a ring this year. Let's see if he can do it, because time is running out. Unfortunately, super teams are being built, and Chris Paul is on this Suns team, which is very good, very second in the West, about to compete for that first overall seed in the West for home court throughout. But man, oh man, the man's great. The man is great. We will leave it at that. The man is truly mother-loving great. I love it. So we'll see what he can do. He's got to get it done in the playoffs, though. That's what we have to see. Got to get it done in the playoffs this year. It's really championship or bust for Chris Paul through here on out. So we'll see what he can do. Maybe at really kind of the tail end of his career, he kind of goes into a Rondo role, coming off the bench and just going to a competitor. But I want to see him be a real main reason why they win the ring, not just kind of a backup role. So Chris Paul, gotta win the ring this season, gotta get it done. Alrighty, those are all the stories we needed to cover from last night, so let's head over to the NBA. We'll break down all the games, do the moneymaker for tonight's action, then we'll head over to our NFL draft prospect of the day, looking at Greg Newsome, cornerback of Northwestern. So let's start here. Every game was a blowout from last night, folks, every single one, and we called some of them. We took the Jazz -12, we took the Suns -12, and they both get it done. But then we also took the Nets -10.5, and we'll get to that game. But, man, oh, man, truly disappointing there. But let's start here with the Raptors and the Cavs and Gary Trent Jr. Holy moly, is he having instant success here with the Raptors? We see that, he feels wanted here with the Raptors. He's getting it done here for the Raptors. So Raptors may have won the trade a little bit against the Blazers, because the Blazers still cannot win with CJ McCollum. Maybe they got rid of the wrong person. Maybe they traded away the wrong person. We've really seen Damian Lillard really kind of struggle to win games. He still has good performances, but they don't really win the games that they need to when CJ McCollum's on the floor. Now, when CJ McCollum was out all this season and Gary Trent Jr. was in the starting lineup, they were winning games. They were like the 4th seed in the West at one point without CJ McCollum. And then CJ McCollum comes back. They lose against the Bucks, the Jazz, and the Clippers, and they fall down to the 6th seed here. So they don't really win the big games with CJ McCollum. So maybe the Blazers traded the wrong person. Now, could you have still gotten Norman Powell for CJ McCollum? I would think so. But it seems like maybe the Raptors won this trade a little bit. So let's start here with the Raptors. Still no Fred VanVleet and still no Pascal Siakam, and they still get the win. Still no Kyle Lowry, and they still get the win. So very, very great game here by Gary Trent Jr. and company. So let's start here with Malachi Flynn stepping up in place of Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet at the starting point guard position. So Malachi Flynn, a great game, 20 points, 11 assists, 2 rebounds on 2 of 3 from 3, and 57% from the field. A great night. But who had an even better night? Gary Mother-Loving Jr., folks. Gary Trent Jr., 44 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds on 7 of 9 of 3, and 89% overall from the field on 19 shots. His only shots missed were 2 3-pointers. Absolutely deadly from the freaking field, folks. Very well done to get it done, Gary Trent Jr. Man, oh man, he's stepping up, and now I'm about this Raptors team. Once kind of Siakam and Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry all get healthy and are consistently back in this starting lineup, having Gary Trent Jr. be kind of that 4th or 5th option that they need, I'm all about it. So, hey, the Raptors and Nick Nurse, they may still be in this thing, folks, at the end of the season. Watch out for them. If they get into that playing tournament, they could be a little bit lethal. They could possibly try and pull a little bit of an upset. Whether they get the 7th or 8th seed, it would be hard against the Nets or the 76ers, but I'm not going to count out this Raptors fight, and I'm not going to count out this Raptors magic just yet that they've been rocking with these last 3 seasons. But Gary Trent Jr. is getting it done. Absolutely fantastic. Alrighty, let's finish off this Raptors team here. Chris Boucher at the 5, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. OG Anunoby at the 4, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Great night, 3 of 6 from 3. And then DeAndre Bembry at the 4, 13 points and 4 rebounds. All great there. And we even got a decent bench contributor out here, Yuta Watanabe, getting it done here off the bench. Absolutely fantastic, especially with all these kind of players out. He's kind of being that solid, reliable piece off the bench. So I think this is like back-to-back games of having 10-plus points for the man. So fantastic, having 14 points, 5 rebounds off the bench, and only 22 minutes, shooting 85% and 2 of 2 from 3. So absolutely great here by this Raptors team. We can start buying them a lot more now. All right, let's talk about the Cavs now. They put up 115 points. Colin Sexton, Darius Garland getting it done, doing what they do. Unfortunately, still no Jared Allen, but here we go. Darius Garland, 19 points, 8 assists on 41% shooting, 3 of 7 from 3. Colin Sexton, 29 points, 5 assists, 1 of 3 from 3, and 50% overall from the field. Kevin Love at the 5, 18 points, 3 rebounds. Already not terrible. Dean Wade at the 4, 14 points, 6 rebounds. And then Isaac Okoro at the 3, 2 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. So decent here by the starters. Everybody kind of in 10-plus point category. Territory besides Isaac Okoro, but then off the bench we get Teron Prince, 10 points, and Isaiah Hartenstein, 12 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Great night by him in 25 minutes, getting it really all done, and he was a +1 on the floor, the only player here +1 or in the plus in a big old blowout loss, a 20-point loss. So Raptors, very well done. Gary Trent Jr. is getting it done. Raptors win 135-115 over the Cavs. All right, let's go to the freaking team that broke my heart last night, the Nets, man. I mean, I can't trust Kyrie Irving. I don't care what y'all say, and I will not be bolded anymore. Kyrie Irving is a great talent. Nobody is doubting that. He can be clutch in the finals. We've seen that. He hit the big shot, but man, oh man, this man's kind of God complex is absolutely out of control, man. I don't really see any leadership with this man on the floor. Once again, he's a great player, and just because he's a great player, he thinks he can kind of do and say whatever he wants, and I guess you can because you're a multi-millionaire and you've won a ring before, so I guess you can, and you just kind of, be like, oh, well, if you hate against me, if you talk bad about me, then you're just a hater and whatever, and I don't need you. Why do I care about your opinion? Yeah, I guess you could say all that. Nobody's stopping you from that, but you just kind of look very annoying. Like, I feel like if I met Kyrie Irving, I would just kind of be annoyed by him, just kind of his overall kind of how he puts himself out there just seems annoying. And I know he's great with the charity. I get it. You all not understand. I get it. But still, at the end of the day, some people are just annoying, folks. Some people just are, everything about them is just annoying. Yes, they're great at basketball. Yes, they're, great in their communities. Yes, they're giving back, but their personality is still just annoying, folks. It is a little bit of a knock, but still at the end of the day, it's something, folks. And I don't want to knock this man just purely on basketball skills because I can't. The man's fantastic. But something about this man, every time I see a story about him and, he's just kind of, talking back to everybody and talking down, thinking that he's, better than literally every single person out here because he's a millionaire, because he's good at basketball. I'm just like, that's real annoying. That's all it is. It's just annoying. But he's a great basketball player. I'm not knocking his skills out there on the court, but his leadership I do knock, and his annoyingness I will knock as well. But so Lakers, they faced the Lakers last night with just Andre Drummond. Not even Kyle Kuzma. I don't think Kyle Kuzma played this game. He didn't. I mean, come on. You lose against the Lakers team that had no LeBron, no Anthony Davis, no Kyle Kuzma, just Andre Drummond and Dennis Schroeder? Come on. There's no reason for this Nets team to lose, and to lose by 25, and to lose at home. I mean, come on. Man, James Harden's MVP case is made right here. Him alone on the floor can get it done, but Kyrie and Kevin Durant can't because Kyrie wants to get ejected for a bad call and then just hawking on that ref for the bad call till he gets ejected. I mean, once again, just annoying. Not a leader out here. You know your team needs you. You weren't even really winning the game when you were even on the floor before you got ejected. So what was up with that, man? Swallow the tongue. Swallow your pride at some points to kind of be that better leader out there. LeBron James does it. You don't see LeBron James getting ejected from games when they're losing, and LeBron James gets it done, man. LeBron James will be the only person on the floor that's good or even thought of being good, and he will get it done. We've seen him carry trash to the finals time and time again. He carried, well, do I dare say this? He carried Kyrie to the finals. Kyrie helped in the finals, but, maybe a little bit of a carry there to get him to the finals because we saw Kyrie with the Cavs without LeBron James, 30 wins. 30 wins, Kyrie. That's what Kyrie does by himself. That's the leadership of Kyrie Irving, 30 wins. And if you think that's good, all right, but you're not going to win a ring, and I'm all about rings over here. So that's the Kyrie Irving rant of the day, because every time something happens, it just resets me up because everybody defends him on Twitter, and fine, defend him. I truly don't care, but at the end of the day, it's just like, do y'all not see how annoying that this man is most of the time? Like, Kyrie Irving stands. I'm sorry, you're some of the most annoying people out there. But let's keep it up here. Let's keep it going. Let's talk about the game last night. Let's start here with the Lakers since they won the game. Absolutely wild. The spread was Nets minus 10.5. This Lakers team on the road with literally nobody consistently good out here, and they get the win. So let's talk about it. Here we go. We will start with the Lakers. Alrighty. Dennis Schroeder, 19 points, 4 assists, 3 of 4 from 3. Fantastic, 63% overall. He's starting to really kind of step it up here. He's kind of taken all the games that LeBron James and Anthony Davis hasn't been in to really kind of get to this point, but he's here finally, and he's kind of been a little consistent here this last maybe week of games for this Lakers team. So let's give it up for Dennis Schroeder getting it done out here. KCP, 14 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He shot 4 of 6 from 3, 50% overall from the field. Not terrible. We'll give it to him. Andre Drummond, yes, sir. 20 points, 11 rebounds. Great night. Markieff Morris putting up 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Yes, sir. And then Taylor Horton-Tucker, yes, sir. Back-to-back, some good games out here by this man. 14 points, 11 assists. Didn't shoot well. 25% from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Just decent, but I'll take those 11 assists and 3 steals. Getting it done defensively. Yes, sir. Alrighty, the bench now, 3 solid players in 10-plus points territory out here. Alfonso Mckinney getting it done, 10 points, 9 rebounds. How many games has this man even played in all season? Yes, sir, getting it done. Montrezl Harrell, all reliable out here. Yes, sir, 10 points, 8 rebounds, getting it done. And then Ben McLemore, 17 points. Yes, sir, on 50% shooting, newly acquired Benny. So getting it done, absolutely love it. Lakers, a huge, great win over this Nets team. And man, oh man, I'm glad that we dropped down the Nets in our power rankings from number 1 to number 2 and put the Nuggets up at number 1, because there's no reason why this Nets team should have lost last night. You won't be able to change my mind. So let's talk about it. Kyrie Irving only playing 20 minutes before he got ejected. 18 points, 4 rebounds, no assists. No assists in 20 minutes? James Harden doesn't do that. Getting other players involved. Once again, Kyrie Irving, yes, you're a great talent, but you're not going to go and score 140 points by yourself. It's not even going to happen. Wilt Chamberlain only put up 100. I mean, you're not better than Wilt Chamberlain. All right. So Kyrie Irving, getting no assists out here, getting the other players not involved. That's not what James Harden does. And we saw James Harden win. He was winning without Kyrie Irving on the floor, but Kyrie Irving can't win without James Harden, man. And he had Kevin Durant. Damn. All right. But here we go. Kyrie Irving, 18 points, 4 rebounds. He shot 2 of 5 from 3, 54%. I mean, a decent shooting night. I mean, this is what he does out here. But man, oh man, those no assists, getting ejected, not the greatest. All right, Joe Harris didn't even have a good game. And when was the last time Joe Harris did not have a good game? It was never when James Harden was in the starting lineup, all right? So Joe Harris out here struggling because Kyrie Irving cannot facilitate the floor as well as James Harden does. Joe Harris, 6 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, and he shot 0 of 4 from 3. I don't think that's ever happened in his entire career, going 0 of 4 from 3. But Kyrie Irving's on the floor. I mean, folks, this is causation and correlation, both. LaMarcus Aldridge, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He's got to step it up a little bit more here. Don't know if he's a great starter coming off the bench. Maybe a little bit better. Maybe just maybe. I know DeAndre Jordan didn't play this game, but maybe just kind of live and die by DeAndre Jordan in that starting lineup. But we'll see how that shakes out. Once everything kind of settles in here of the starting lineup, once everybody's healthy and they have their pick of their starting rotations. Jeff Green, 6 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, and Kevin Durant, 22 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Nothing great there. 1 of 4 from 3, 47% overall. He did lead the team in scoring, but getting nobody else involved is the major kind of downfall of this Nets team without James Harden on the floor. And then off the bench, we didn't even get anything that great. The leading scorers were Nicholas Claxton, who I am a big fan of. He got it done, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and only 14 minutes off the bench. That's what I'm talking about. And then Timothy Loawe-Cabaret, 7 points, 2 rebounds off the bench in 9 minutes. So the bench couldn't get it done. Truly unfortunate. And Kyrie Irving got ejected. So the Nets, man, the Nets. Alrighty, let's keep going here. Next game up, 76ers and the Thunder. And 76ers get the win here. Big ol', what do we got? 24-point win here for this 76ers team. Back on track. We saw them flounder their last game, but they got back on track here. Nice blowout win against a team that they should have blown out, the Thunder. So here we go, the 76ers. Seth Curry, alrighty, moving the starting lineup a little bit because we see who did not play this game. Danny Green and Tobias Harris both didn't play this game, and they still win. Oh, I love it. Alrighty, so this was the starting lineup that they used. Seth Curry at the 1, Ben Simmons at the 2, Matisse Thybulle at the 3, Furkan Korkmaz at the 4, and then Joel Embiid still at the 5. So Seth Curry at the 1. Did he play any better from the 1 to the 2 here? Not really. 11 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 of 5 from 3, 45% overall. Classic Seth Curry game, I would say. So having him kind of be the facilitator on the floor did not work too well. Ben Simmons kind of went down a little bit in production, 13 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. So definitely the switch of Ben Simmons and Seth Curry does not work. Joel Embiid, 27 points, 4 assists, 9 rebounds. Furkan Korkmaz, yes, sir, stepping it up. This is what Tobias Harris does. I mean, 20 points, 5 steals. Oh, my gosh. 2 assists, 4 rebounds. Very good. 4 of 10 from 3. And then Matisse Thybulle doing his best Danny Green impression out here. 3 points, 3 steals, 3 rebounds, no assists, 1 of 2 from the 3. Those were his only shots all taken all game. Alrighty, so decent there by the starters. Joel Embiid, Korkmaz getting it done with 20-plus points out there. And then, the bench still got it done. Love seeing that. Shake Milton, 12 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. And Mike Scott, 13 points, 2 rebounds as well. And Dwight Howard coming in with the 3 points, but 13 rebounds in only 14 minutes. Absolutely love it, man. Dwight Howard getting it done. And like we said, this 76ers team is really kind of deep, man. You move Matisse Thybulle, Furkman Korkmaz up into that starting lineup, and you still have 2 players on the bench getting you 10-plus points in Shake Milton and Mike Scott, and then Dwight Howard, obviously, with the 13 rebounds. So they are deep, folks. 2 of their bench players have to go up to the starting position, and they still get it done off the bench. Absolutely magnificent. Alrighty, we could go through this Thunder team very quickly. As we said, no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Luguentz Dort was back in the starting lineup here, going at the 2, not the 3 here. But he had 15 points, 5 rebounds. He shot 2 of 4 from 3 and 50% overall. I mean, he really thrives a lot better than at the 2 than at the 3. So he, second leading scorer here at the 2. Theo Melendon there at the number 1, 8 points, 5 assists. He shot very poorly, 27% from the field. Moses Brown still at the 5, 6.6 rebounds. Darius Bazley, the leading scorer there at the 4, 17 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. Kind of a great game. 3 of 4 from 3, 58% overall from the field. And then Puko, man, oh man, he had 2 great games. Got noticed on social media and then floundering hard here. He don't only play 8 minutes, so that's probably why. But 0 points, 0 of 2 shooting, 3 rebounds in 8 minutes. Alrighty, and then off the bench, anything great here? Tony Bradley, look at this man get it done. 16 points, 14 rebounds off the bench. I'll give it to him. And then Ty Jerome off the bench, 12 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Just unfortunately going against one of the best teams in this league without your best player. That's going to be bound for a loss there. So 76ers get the big old win, 117-93 over the Thunder. Alrighty, next game up, Jazz Kings, and we took this one, Jazz minus 12, and they win by 16. So thank you, Jazz, for taking that big spread and winning the game and covering the spread, unlike the Nets. Bump, bump. So here we go. Let's start here with the Jazz. Everybody was good to go for this game. Yes. Alrighty, so here we go. Mike Conley, 26 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Great night by him. 5 of 10 from 3. Very well done. Donovan Mitchell, 42 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. He shot 3 of 12 from 3 and 38% overall, but he got to the line 17 times, put up 42 points. Yes, sir. Rudy Gobert, 6 points, 11 rebounds. Royce O'Neal, 5 points, 14 rebounds. And then Bojan Bogdanovic, 8 points, 6 rebounds on 25% shooting. Not the greatest. 0-4 from 3 as well. But Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, both able to really get it done there for the starters. And then look at this bench. No Jordan Clarkson still, and they're still able to get the win. Joe Ingles, 20 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Georges Niang, 12 points, 2 rebounds. So the bench still got it done. A little light without Jordan Clarkson. Donovan Mitchell has a great game, and they're able to beat this Kings team. I mean, this Kings team doesn't show us anything great. We don't like their head coach. They've got some nice shooters out here, but they really rely on them all being on. And unfortunately, they play no defense. So let's talk about the Kings really quickly. Darren Fox, 30 points, 8 assists. Darren Fox, what a stud out here. Truly unfortunate that he's on the Kings, the worst team in this league, they're just nothing. I mean, when was the last time you heard about the Kings? Probably because of Darren Fox, honestly. He's the only relevant person on this team. Buddy Hield is good too. I don't want to clown Buddy Hield, but he takes a lot of threes and really relies on making the majority of them, of having a good game, kind of like this one. 19 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Great night, but 4 of 13 from 3. I mean, this man he only shoots threes, basically. But you know what, Grayson Allen type, it works with a Grizzly, so it shouldn't not work here with the Kings. And this Kings team still has a decent roster, a decent starting 5. I mean, Darren Fox, Buddy Hield, Raquan Holmes, Marquise Harkless, and Harrison Barnes. I mean, these aren't big names. Darren Fox is. Harrison Barnes been in this league for a long time. These aren't Donovan Mitchells and Rudy Gobert's and Jokic's and all of that. Seth Curry's. These are kind of all second tier-ish, possibly even third-ish. I would put Raquan Holmes as maybe tier 3 big. But he still kind of gets it done. He had a 25-point night, 10 rebound night last night on 76% shooting. So it's just something about this Kings team. They've got no problem with the offense. It's the coaching and the defense, man, truly. But let's finish off these starters here. I mean, this was actually a real great night by this starting lineup, and it usually is. This starting lineup usually does get it done. They are just a little lackluster off the bench, and like we said, they are lackluster defensively. I mean, Darren Fox put up 30 points and was still a minus 26 in a 16-point loss. I mean, that's really not great. So let's finish off these starters here. Maurice Harkless, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3. Very well done. Harrison Barnes, 11 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds. He shot 1 of 6, not great, but 44% overall. And then just one decent bench contributor out here, Tyrese Halliburton, their rookie, 13 points, 3 rebounds. So Jazz get the win. Kind of shorthanded with no Jordan Clarkson, but they still get the win. So very well done to the Jazz. Alrighty, next matchup up, the Rockets and the Warriors, and I think we may have to fade the Rockets a little bit. I do kind of want to buy them, but man, oh man, they cannot win games. And John Wall was in the starting lineup and played 36 minutes, and you lose against the Warriors, who have no depth. So little unfortunate there. So we took the Rockets plus 8.5. We thought it was good value, and they lose by 14 points. Not great. So let's start here with the Warriors. Steph Curry, yes, sir, practicing what he preaches on a nightly basis. So that's why, I love Steph Curry so much, man. Truly a great shooter, absolutely. Can get it done. Always consistent, always doing his part. Just unfortunate. I mean, this Warriors team is truly lackluster in the scoring department, man. But here we go. Steph Curry, 38 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds, 8 of 15 from 3, 61% overall. Kent Bazemore in place of what's his name? We don't even like this man. Damn, why am I forgetting that man's name? Where is he at? The shooting guard for the Warriors. I'm blanking on him. We clown him a lot because he doesn't really step it up as much as he kind of needs to. He needs to be that Klay Thompson to Steph Curry's Curry, but he doesn't. But he doesn't do that. Oh, man. Damn, well, I'm blanking on it, so let's just keep going here. Kent Bazemore filling in for, that guy. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, didn't play great. I mean, didn't do as good as the other guy usually does on a consistent basis. James Wiseman left this game early, so truly unfortunate for him. Only playing 6 minutes, 6 points, 1 rebound. Draymond Green, 2 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, and then Andrew Wiggins stepping it up. Love to see this. 25 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 of 5 from 3, but then 52% overall from the field. Jordan Poole fills in for the starting 5 here. 21 points, 4 assists, 3 steals with 25 minutes. And then McCall Mulder, 10 points off the bench as well. So the Warriors got it done. Steph Curry got it done. A great night by Andrew Wiggins. Love to see it. And then Jordan Poole steps up in lieu of James Wiseman getting injured. All right, let's go to the Rockets now. Where did they flounder? What happened to them? All right, so let's start with Kevin Porter Jr. first. Didn't have a great game. His probably first bad game with the Rockets. Can we say that? 9 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds on 1 of 6 from 3 and 30% overall from the field. John Wall had a pretty good game out here. 30 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds, 5 of 7 from 3. Magnificent. 57% from the field. That's what we're talking about. Christian Wood still had a good game. 18 points, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 of 5 from 3. Jashawn Tate, 7 points, 11 rebounds. So not terrible there by the starters. Could have used a little bit more scoring from Jashawn Tate and Kevin Porter Jr. Unfortunately, they didn't get any great bench production. They did have DJ Augustine with 19 points and 6 assists. That was real good. But then besides him, the leading scorer off the bench was Avery Bradley with 3 points and DJ Wilson with 3 points. So just couldn't get the bench scoring to get it done for this Rockets team. And a little lackluster from Kevin Porter Jr. ruins the Rockets plus 8.5. Truly unfortunate. So, Warriors getting another win here. Love to see it. I think they're on a 2-game winning streak. I'm always down. Oh, man, what? We got to refresh this. When was the last time we refreshed this? Warriors are on a 1-game winning streak. All right. So, we definitely love to see this team in the play-in tournament. I mean, whenever I can see Steph Curry play, I'm going to take that. So, we'll love to see them still in the top 10 here, and they are for the play-in tournament. Alrighty, moving on to the Suns and the Wizards. And the Suns get the win. Very well done. Getting back on track here. Losing against the Clippers really lit a fire under them to really blow out the Wizards 134-106. So a big 28-point win here for the Suns. Chris Paul, 13 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Devin Booker, 27 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Jay Crowder, 11 points. McCall Bridges, 15 points, 3 rebounds. And then their bench, Cameron Payne, 14 points, 7 assists. Cameron Johnson, 12 points, 4 rebounds. And Javon Carter, 14 points, 6 rebounds. So 3 players all in 10-plus points off the bench. That's exactly what we're mother-loving talking about, baby. And then let's shout out Torrey Craig, because I'm a big fan of his as well. Coming off the bench in only 14 minutes, 3 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, a +6 on the floor. Yes, sir. So they still get it done. They can get it done defensively off the bench. They can get it done offensively off the bench. And their starters, we all know they're starters. Come on now. So, Suns, absolutely magnificent. Great win here. All right, let's talk about the Wizards now. No Bradley Beal, unfortunate, so Russell Westbrook has to do it all himself. 17 points, 4 assists, 11 rebounds, 0-4 from 3, and 35% overall from Russell Westbrook. So not a great game. 5 turnovers as well, not the greatest. And then nobody else really steps up that much. I mean, Raul Neto had a great game, 24 points, led the team in scoring. But besides him, I mean, we get Alex Len back to not great game, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Rui Hachimura, 6 points, 7 rebounds. Denny Avdija, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Just nothing really great there. And they didn't have Davis Burton. So that's kind of, their third best player on this team, third best scorer. But Bradley Beal out, Davis Burton's out. Definitely no reason why this team wins. Ish Smith, leading scorer off the bench, had 12 points, 6 rebounds, but really nothing else. This Wizards team does not have great scores, especially when Bradley Beal is not there, and Bradley Beal is usually not really there. I mean, he's really kind of 50-50 in, game out, game in, game out. So Russell Westbrook trying his damnedest out here, and I respect the hell out of him for it, but not gonna win. You're just not gonna win. That's really it. All right, and then the last game of the night, finally, the Blazers get back on track, a game that they should win, so I'll give it up for them a little bit, winning when they're supposed to. So let's start here with the Blazers. Damian Lillard, 27 points, 10 assists, yes, sir. 3 rebounds to go along with that, 4 of 8 from 3, fantastic. CJ McCollum, 26 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. He shot 3 of 8 from 3. Enes Kanter, oh, are y'all ready for this man's game? Holy moly. 24 points, 30 rebounds. 30 rebounds this man had. 12 of those offensive. Absolutely tremendous game. The Pistons only had 38 rebounds total. Enes Kanter had 30 himself, all right? Absolutely crazy. I love it. Love Enes Kanter so much. Get it done, big fella. Yes, sir. All right, Robert Covington, only 3 points. And Norman Powell only putting up 9 points, did not shoot well at all. 20% from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. So, but fortunately, Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Enes Kanter all really got it done, all putting up 24-plus points. Love it. And then off the bench, Carmelo, 11 points, 4 rebounds, not bad. He shot pretty decent, 2 of 3 from 3, 44% overall. Nasir Little put up 11 points off the bench. Derrick Jones Jr. just getting it done defensively off the bench in 17 minutes. Only put up 5 points and 4 rebounds, but he was also a plus 13 there off the on the floor. So just a little no Nurkic, no problem. Enes Kanter steps up big time. I think I kind of want Nurkic coming off the bench, honestly. I think Enes Kanter really should just be the starter here because he's been the starter basically because Nurkic has been out the entire season. So having Nurkic come off the bench, I think maybe a little bit better. And then Derrick Jones Jr., man, I got to start to see him do something off this bench. He's disappointing me so freaking much, man. Just step up your game. Do something. Get us those rebounds. Get us those assists. Get us those points. I know he's a good defender, but you got to do something else on the floor than just be a good defender. That does not work in this league, man. So, Derrick Jones Jr., let's get it done a little bit better, please. Do something. Do something in the stat column. All right. The Pistons now. We get What's-his-face did not play in this game for the Pistons, their best guy, Jeremy Grant, so unfortunate there. So let's see who steps up in place of him. Josh Jackson, leading scorer, 21 points, and that's basically who steps up. Saddiq Bey goes from the 3 to the 4 to replace for Jeremy Grant, and Josh Jackson goes up to the 3 to replace Saddiq Bey, who replaced Jeremy Grant. So Josh Jackson, 21 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 6 from 3, I'll give it to him. Saddiq Bey, 14 points, 6 rebounds, alrighty, 2 of 8 from 3, not the greatest. Mason Plumlee, 8.6 rebounds, nothing great. Corey Joseph, only 4 points, 8 assists. Dennis Smith Jr., 4 points, 3 assists, so really nothing great here by the starters, which we are definitely accustomed to. They had 2 good bench contributions out here. Frank Jackson, 17 points, 4 rebounds off the bench, and Sekou Doumbouya, 11 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds. Alrighty, yes sir, get it done. A +2 on the floor in 22 minutes, we'll take it. Alrighty, but just all in all, nothing great from this Pistons team, nothing consistent from this Pistons team. Classic Pistons team. Alrighty, before we move on to our moneymaker for tonight's action, we have to go and award some points in our MVP race in Sixth Man of the Year. You get -5 to a +5, 2 points for a win, -2 points for a loss, and then we move you accordingly according to your performance. And that's kind of how we're deciding the MVP and Sixth Man of the Year at the back third of this season. Whoever has the most points when the season's over, that's who we're going to give those awards to. So, Giannis did not play last night. Bucks did not play, so we don't have to worry about him. Harden did not play last night, but his team did. So, you get -3 for not playing. We do penalize you for not playing. We need our winners to be playing games, be the reason why they're winning. So, James Harden -3, but of how poor that Nets team did with him not on the floor, I'm going to give Harden a point. So, we're going to give him +1. For Kyrie getting ejected, them losing, not even being competitive against the Lakers, still not beating that Lakers when they were all on the floor together before Kyrie Irving got ejected. James Harden doesn't do that, folks. He elevates players around him. And Joe Harris only having, 6 points? James Harden would never let that go, would never let that happen. So I'm giving James Harden a point, even though he did not play last night. Alrighty, Damian Lillard, his team did play last night, so let's go to him. They get the win. We'll start him off with 2 points there, and then 27 points, 10 assists, very well done. Obviously did not get as many rebounds as Enes Kanter, but leading scorer for the squad, leading assister for the squad, leading plus-minus for the squad at a +20, so I'll give him 3 points there. Give him an extra point, so the 2 points for the win, an extra point for his performance, so he goes up to 3 points now. And then Jokic and the Nuggets did not play, so we don't have to worry about them. So we still have Jokic as our leading front runner of MVP with 10 points, Joel Embiid in second with 6 points, and then Lillard in third with 3 points. All right, let's go to the 6-man competition now. Montrezl Harrell did play last night, so let's get this Lakers team up. They get the win, so we start them up at 2 points there. He had 10 points off the bench, 8 rebounds, really a great night. He was a +5 on the floor, just compared to everybody else, just kind of, just really average out there. So we'll give him the 2 and only 2 because everybody had a great night out here. So very well done for Montrezl Harrell. I'm not going to take anything away from this man, but just kind of compared to everybody else, just kind of, average. So we'll give him the 2 points there. No knock there. So he goes up to 8 points. Jordan Clarkson, alrighty, the Jazz did play last night, but he did not, so we have to give him -3 for that. So now Jordan Clarkson going to -4 points here. Got a lot of ground to make up. All right, Tim Hardaway Jr. did not play last night, and same thing with Thaddeus Young. Their teams did not play last night. So our 6th man of the year so far is still Tim Hardaway Jr., man, with 9 points. Love what he's doing for that Mavs team. Solid, consistent scoring for the bench, which is exactly what the Mavs need because they're fine with the starters with, Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, but coming off the bench, they need somebody else. That's why they got J.J. Redick, but he hasn't been playing. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been getting it done. So, alrighty. So that is up to date. So now let's see what's on tap today in the NBA. We do have a game tipping off, I believe, at 1:10. It does say 1 o'clock, but usually 1 o'clock games start off at 1:10. So we should be able to get that in our moneymaker if we choose to pick that game. It is Hawks and the Hornets. Then we get 3 o'clock Nuggets Celtics. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Watch that game if you can. Pelicans Cavs, Bucks Magic, Raptors Knicks, Spurs Mavericks, Pacers Grizzlies, Bulls Timberwolves, Pistons Clippers, Blazers Heat at 10 o'clock. Ooh, that's going to be a good one too. Blazers need to win that game. All right. If they don't win that game, I'm done talking about Damian Lillard, and I'm done talking about the Blazers for the rest of the season. All right. I don't want that to happen. Trust me. I love that team, and I love Damian Lillard, but man, oh man, you got to start beating some teams. Please do that. All righty. Here we go. Let's get these lines up to date. We went 2-2 yesterday. Unfortunately, the Nets really just gave it to us. That was the one we were truly wrong about the Rockets, but man, oh man, that one again with that Nets game, man. Kyrie Irving, man, oh man. Alrighty, let's get these lines up to date. They are now up to date. So here we go. First matchup up, taping off at 110. Here it is. Hawks, Hornets. Hawks plus 2.5. Hornets minus 2.5. Alrighty. This spread is not making sense, so I'm assuming like Clint Capella and Trae Young are all not playing. So let's see what we get here. Danilo Gallinari is out. Tony Snell is out. Chris Dunn is out. John Collins is out. Trae Young is out. Cam Reddish is out. What the hell is going on here? And then for the Hornets, just the usual suspects of Gordon Hayward, Malik Monk, and LaMelo Ball. So we'll stay away from this one. Hopefully the Hornets win. I can root for this Hornets team now that, Trae Young is not playing. So it's going to come down to Lemon Pepper Lou and Clint Capella. But, yeah, man, I want to see this Hornets team just stay in the playoffs, man. They've worked for it. Unfortunately, injuries have really plagued them this last 2 weeks. But I'm rooting for the Hornets tonight, but we will stay away from it. Hawks plus 2.5 without all their players. I'm not going to take that. That's just not smart. So we will stay away from it. Alrighty, then we go to the Celtics and the Nuggets. Okay, Celtics plus 7, Nuggets minus 7. Let's see who's all good to go. Evan Fournier is still out. Jaylen Brown is a game-time decision, and Jason Tatum is a game-time decision. Now for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray is just a game-time decision, and they do kind of desperately need him to play, honestly. So let's go to our fantasy labs. Let's see if we get any concrete information on this Nuggets-Celtics game. Alrighty, what do we get? I just really want to know about Jamal Murray. That's really it. If Jamal Murray's in, I'm taking that minus 7 because once again, they're going to have no bench scoring. Now, the Nuggets don't have that bench scoring, but they have the players to put up the scoring if they need to. The Celtics, their players, they just don't score because they're that bad. The Nuggets players don't score because they don't get a lot of minutes playing, and they're, that they just don't shoot a lot. They don't got like a lot of shooting guards off the bench. So whatever. I'm trusting this Nuggets team. We just put them number 1 in our power rankings. They're on this big old, what do we got now? 8-game winning streak. 8-game winning streak, 9-1 in their last 10. Let's ride this Nuggets train, folks. I'm all about it. Celtics are going to be lackluster off the bench, folks. No Evan Fournier. Come on, they have nobody off the bench now. So Jason Tatum is once again going to have to put up 50-plus points. I'm telling y'all, him and Jaylen Brown, when there's nobody else to really put up any points off the bench, they need to combine, honestly, for like 70 to 80 points. They both need to put up like 30-plus points. So Nuggets minus 7, we've got no problem. We love this new Aaron Gordon Nuggets team. They all get it done, and they'll get it done tonight. Today, 3 o'clock. So Nuggets minus 7, our first selection. Alrighty, then we get Pelicans Cavs. Pelicans minus 6.5, Cavs plus 6.5. Alrighty, is Jared Allen finally back? Because I'm ready to see this man play out here again. All right, for the Pelicans, Josh Hart is out. Alonzo Ball is out, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker is out as well. So they're going to have, like, no guards. Who's going to facilitate the floor out there? And then for the Cavs, Larry Nance Jr. is out. Dylan Windler is a game-time decision, and Jared Allen is still out. Gosh darn him. So we'll see how the Pelicans do. We'll stay away from it. Not having, a facilitator out there, or are they going to rely on Eric Bledsoe? He's going to be the facilitator on the floor. Good luck, truly, good luck, but we'll stay away from this one. The Pelicans should have no trouble, but we'll stay away from it. Alrighty, Bucks, Magic. Bucks minus 8.5. Magic plus 8.5. Can the Bucks finally all play some game? I mean, they've taken like 3 games off now. What are we doing here? I mean, you're just kind of giving away you're just kind of just getting that 3rd seed now. I mean, there's really no way that the Bucks can kind of make up the number 2 or number 1 seed now, being kind of 3.5 games back from that number 2 and 1 seed. I don't know what they're doing out here. Everybody resting. What is that about? But let's see if they're all back here. Brooke Lopez, game time decision. Drew Holiday, game time decision. Chris Middleton, game time decision. PJ Tucker, game time decision. Giannis, game time decision. Dante DiVincenzo, game time decision. So hopefully they're all playing now. Jeez, they're taking enough games off, especially Giannis. Get your ass back in that starting lineup, especially if you want to be MVP. What are we talking about now? Alrighty, for the Magic, doesn't matter. I mean, they'll have next man up mentality. But here we go. Otto Porter is out. Mo Bamba, game time decision. Kareem Maine, game time decision. So I guess we'll stay away from it. I'm assuming everybody's going to be playing in this game for the Bucks. They're minus 8.5, but we'll stay away from it. Let's see how everybody gets on the floor and, reestablish their rhythm together. So we'll stay away from it. Then we get Bulls and the Timberwolves. Potential good value here. Bulls -4, Timberwolves +4. Alrighty. Now, the Bulls have just lost their first game on their kind of win streak with Vucevic in the lineup. So, they are, still not invincible out here. For the Bulls, just Garrett Temple's a game time decision. And then for the Timberwolves, Malik Beasley's out. Alrighty, we do like this Timberwolves team because, D'Angelo Russell's back and we like that big 3. I'm assuming D'Angelo Russell is going to be starting this game. He's had 2 games to kind of get acclimated, back into game shape, coming off the bench, but he's been playing more minutes than Ricky Rubio this last game, so I expect them to make the switch to D'Angelo Russell to the starting rotation, Ricky Rubio coming off the bench, and I still think that's going to be great, but I'm going to ride with the Bulls. I'm going to kind of see how they respond to this loss, if they can get back on track. Let's see if this Bulls team is really good, or if maybe they're just still pretenders even after the trade deadline of them making the moves. So we'll take the Bulls -4, but definitely interested to see how this one plays out, but we are going to bet on this Bulls team tonight. Alrighty, then we get the Spurs and the Mavs. Spurs +6, Mavs -6. Alrighty, probably going to stay away from this one, but we'll see. Spurs, Georges Niang is out and Trey Lyles is out. And then for the Mavericks, J.J. Redick still a game-time decision. Willie Cauley-Stein, game-time decision. Maxi Kleber, game-time decision. And Tyrell Terry, a game-time decision. So we're going to stay away from this one just because I never know what I'm getting with the Spurs team. I could get a great defensive night where they cover the spread, or I could not. I mean, literally, I just cannot. I don't like betting on the Spurs, and I don't like betting against the Spurs as well. So we'll stay away from this one with the 6-point spread. Alrighty, next game up is the Pacers and the Grizzlies, and oh my goodness, great value. I see it. Here we go. Pacers +3.5. Grizzlies -3.5, and I'm loving the Grizzlies right now, folks. Let's see if everybody's good to go here. For the Pacers, Miles Turner's a game-time decision, so we'll see if he's back in the starting lineup. And then for the Grizzlies, what do we got? Justice Winslow is out. DeAnthony Melton is out, unfortunately, for their bench. Jonte Porter, a game-time decision, and Jaren Jackson is out as well. So, Grizzlies coming off their loss against the Knicks, where they really should have won in overtime, but I'm ready to see this Grizzlies team get back on track. I love it. Especially if the Pacers, I don't like the Pacers. Y'all know how I feel about this team. They don't show us anything great. Grizzlies coming off kind of a little bit of an embarrassing loss there against the Knicks. I'll have them on the bounce back. Let's see if this Grizzlies team is for real. We've been talking them up because they got 3 games above 500, but then they just lost. So we know the classic trend of the Grizzlies. They take one step forward, they take a step back. That's literally the Grizzlies. So we thought they kind of broke that streak ever since they got on that 3 games above 500 streak, but then they just lost their last game against the Knicks, leaving a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth, but we're going to see what the Grizzlies are made of in this game, and we'll bet them here with the -3.5. Alrighty, then we get the Raptors and the Knicks. Raptors +3, Knicks -3. Is everybody for this Raptors team back now? Kyle Lowry, a game-time decision. Fred VanVleet, a game-time decision, so hopefully they're back to go now. Now for the Knicks, just Mitchell Robinson is out and John Henson is out. So they've got everybody get a rock there. So we'll stay away from this one. We know the Raptors just had a really great win last night against the Cavs. Everybody getting it done. The next man up mentality really got there. But now when we got Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry back in, let's see them kind of get reacclimated. So we'll stay away from this game and just learn from it. Then we get the Pistons and the Clippers. Pistons plus 12, Clippers minus 12. Definitely not taking the Pistons plus 12, I'll tell you that. Rodney McGruder out, or game time decision for the Pistons, and Jeremy Grant a game time decision. And then for the Clippers, Rondo game time decision. Patrick Beverley is out, we know that. Serge Ibaka is still out. Oh, Kawhi Leonard is out for rest. So gonna stay away from this one because it's a load management game. And then the last game of the night, the Heat and the Blazers. Man, oh man, man, oh man. Here it is. Heat -1, Blazers -1. Victor Oladipo's out. We know he's out for this road trip. Tyler Hero, a game time decision for the Heat as well. And then for the Blazers, just Zach Collins out. But we're going to rock with this Blazers team +1. This is a must-win game for the Blazers. They cannot keep losing games against kind of, the average, the above average and up teams. They need to start winning. I'm telling you, last week was the worst week for this Blazers team. Losing against the Bucks, the Jazz, and the Clippers, and kind of getting blown out in those games really left a bad taste in our mouths. We took them out of the top 10 in our power rankings, which crushed me to my core. But I gotta wait for the bounce back game. Now the Blazers are on a back-to-back, but I mean, what was their game last night? The Pistons? I mean, is that really even a game? So, want to see this Blazers win this game. Gonna bet that they do. Let's see they get this win here. Now, this Heat team, I mean, this is a good competition for this Blazers team. There's no reason why they should get blown out here against the Heat, but there are reasons why they should win. I mean, they do match up kind of decently. I mean, both these teams are pretty deep here. Both got great starting lineups. Both have, shooters all over the floor. And both have the good bigs. But I hope Enes Kanter still stays in this starting lineup. We know Yusuf Nurkic is back. But, man, oh, man, have that man come off the bench, man. Enes Kanter, he's got more experience this season in the starting rotation. Nurkic is not looking in sync with that squad when he's out there with the starters. So just acclimate him slightly into the starting rotation. Let Enes Kanter work. The man just had 30 rebounds last night. Come on. So Blazers +1. We're going to see if they can get back on track, and we're betting that they do. All right, so our moneymaker for tonight, Nuggets -7, Bulls -4, Grizzlies -3.5, and the Blazers +1. Alrighty, now let's head over to our NFL Draft Prospect of the Day. We are on a 73-day countdown up until the NFL Draft. We are on day 58 of that draft countdown, looking at a draft prospect every single day. And today's draft prospect we're looking at is Greg Newsome II. So we'll break down his stats, look at some film, and see if our teams should be drafting this man. Should this be the first cornerback taken in the draft? Let's see what we got here. So here we go. Greg Newsome, cornerback from Northwestern, 6'1", 190. So he's got the good size there. 6'1", can match up against the tall receivers in the league. Like to see that. Alrighty, let's see what we get here with the stats. Here we go. 3 years at Northwestern, but let's preface it by saying, I mean, man, oh man, this man's been injured every single mother-loving season. 2018 only played 6 games. 2019 only played 8 games, and then in 2020 only played 3 games. Got injured in the Big Ten championship game. So not great. Very injury prone, injured every single season. So that is definitely a red flag that comes up with drafting this man. But let's see if his stats, let's see if his film kind of just, put maybe a little bit of a bigger green flag to kind of drown out that red flag a little bit. No, you're not seeing a red flag over there. I just see the green. Oh my God, the stats are looking real great. So let's see what this man's got. Here we go. Freshman year, 2018, only playing 6 games. He had 23 total tackles, no interceptions, 4 pass defenses. That's what I'm about. No fumble recoveries or forced fumbles. Alrighty. Got to a bowl game in 2018. We'll look at those at the end when we're done with the stats here. But here we go. 2019 for Northwestern. Played 8 games, so got a little better there. 36 total tackles, 9 pass defenses, 1 fumble recovery, still no interceptions, but got a little better, the more games he's playing. And then just this season, 2020, only playing 3 games, 12 tackles, 1 interception, finally got his first pick here, 7 pass defenses as well, alrighty, in only 3 games, so making, a season's worth of kind of stats in only 3 games. That's what I like to see. Alrighty, now let's look at some of these bowl games here. 2018, he got to a bowl game. Let's see if he even played in the bowl game. He did. Alrighty. What is this one? Why'd they get into 2? What is this one? Big Ten championship game, and then what did they get here in? What did they do against Utah? What is this? The Holiday Bowl? Oh, okay. All right, championship game, then bowl game. All right, so here we go. 2018, his freshman year, the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State. They lost. He had 3 tackles, no interceptions, no pass defense, and nothing like that. And they gave up 45 points to Ohio State. Not great. 14 points in the fourth quarter. All righty. So not great there defensively by our man, Greg Newsome. All right, then they get to a bowl game against Utah, and they get the win. 3 tackles for him, and he had a pass defense. No interceptions for that man. But let's see what they did defensively. Held Utah to 20 points. Held them to no points in the third and fourth quarter. So the second half, Utah couldn't score at all, and that's why they win the game. So very well done by Greg Newsome to get it done defensively as a team out there to win the bowl games. That's what we're talking about. All right, 2019, he only played 8 games, and they didn't get to a bowl game. So that's pretty decent, not winning without him, we would say. Let's see what the record was. They played 11 games and went 3-9. All right, well, they weren't winning with him anyway. He did play 8 games, and they still went 3-9 in those over the course of those 11 games. All righty, so not great there in 2019. And then in 2020, they got to a bowl game, but he did not play in the bowl game. So let's see if the Northwestern won the bowl game that he did not play in, because that would not be a great sign either. So let's see what would they get here. Northwestern, their bowl game this season, 2020. Alrighty, the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, they lose. Once again, they just cannot beat Ohio State, and that's a given. I mean, we know Ohio State is great every year. So Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, they lose. And they give up 22 points. So not bad defensively, only giving up 22 points. But then they get to a bowl game still, and they beat Auburn. Not great, and they held them to 19 points. So defensively, they kind of made it work. Held Ohio State to 22 points. That's still real good defensively. And then, beating Auburn in the bowl game and only holding them to 19 points. So not great in the stat column. Obviously, just because he hasn't played a lot of games, there's really no great production out there. 2019, the defense was just trash that year, and then just this year, they won the bowl game without him. Not the greatest. And he only played 3 games here in 2020, and Northwestern still went 7-2. So not the greatest there. If you're that important to the team, if you're that valuable, you're still not going to be winning games. So not the greatest here stat-wise for Greg Newsome, but let's see if the film changes our mind at all. Alrighty, so here we go. Alrighty, here we go. Nice little 3-minute highlight package of Greg Newsome, cornerback from Northwestern. Let's get the number on him just in case we have to follow him around on the field. Number 2019, or it was number 2 here. We should be, I think, is this career? It's maybe career highlights here. So number 2 for 2019 and 2020, and number 29 for 2018. So let's follow this man around the field. Let's look how this man is looking on the field. The stats, just all right, just a little meh, but let's see what we get out here on the films. Here we go. Greg Newsome, cornerback from Northwestern. Alrighty, first play up here against Wisconsin, number 10 ranked Wisconsin this season. Oh, and they're trying to hit a little bit of a comeback route, and there he is with the pick. Yes, sir. Great tight coverage on the wide receiver on a little bit of a comeback. Wisconsin was down 10 in the fourth quarter, and look at him make a break on this ball. 2 feet down, secured that catch. That is a pick. Yes, sir. Look at him just break on the ball. Bad throw. Throwing that kind of, inside comeback route, it could be a little dangerous, and Greg Newsome makes him pay. All right, once again, against Wisconsin, going deep. Pass breakup forces him out of bounds. Yes, sir. Incomplete pass on the goal line. Do we get a replay of this, or are we going to have to do it ourselves? Here we go. Look at this in slow motion. Loses track of the ball slightly at the end, but still plays the defender perfectly. forcing him towards the boundary, kind of pushing him as he's coming back down, breaks out the ball at the last second, and that's an incomplete in the goal line and the end zone. Absolutely fantastic. All right, now Nebraska going deep on this man. He says, no, what are you doing? Testing me. A great pass defense here, breaking out off the ball at the last second, and really look at how great defensively he is here. He's really step for step. He's literally all over this receiver while not getting past interference. I mean, that is great technique right there. Literally running for him, literally running like you can't look at this. They're literally right on top of each other this entire way, and he's still not getting past interference. That is great work out there by Greg Newsome out here. I mean, folks, this is, folks, look at this. The last 5 yards, the last like 7 yards are literally step for step, stride for stride, and he breaks it up at the last second. Magnificent work out there. Well done. Wow, that's great. Holy cow, that's great. All right, here we go against Michigan now. What do we got? Michigan with the little pump fake. He doesn't bite on it. And then he's able to break up the ball. This is fantastic, folks. Look at this throw again. Watch. The quarterback for Michigan State here is going to pump fake and try to throw him off because he's pump faking to this side on the man with the double move, the wide receiver at the top of the screen with the double move, and Greg Newsome is all over it. So watch him not fight. Watch him not bite on that pump fake. There he is, staying stride for stride with them, and then able to break it up at the last second. Very well done. Even though he didn't have great position, he kind of got boxed out a little bit, able to play up high. He's 6'1" and can still play up high still, and then he's able to break up the ball at the last second for the incompletion. Alrighty, against Purdue now, breaking up the ball, trying to hit a receiver over the middle. There he goes, breaking it up. Incomplete. Yes, sir. Very well done. What's next up now? Against Michigan State again? You're going to try him again? No pump fake, and that's the problem. No pump fake. Just tries to hit him on a nice little just out route there on the long side of the field, and that gives Greg Newsome all the time to kind of come back, break up the ball. Very well done. Incomplete pass. All right, against Nebraska now. Little slant route. What? 3rd and 5? I know the slant's coming. Plays it perfectly. Breaks up the ball. Hits the receiver as the ball's coming to jar it loose. Get physical right at that point of attack. And that's what I'm loving. Locking it down there. Not picking up the first. Forcing them to punt. Let's get it. All righty. I'm loving this man already. Against Michigan State again. Comeback route. No, sir. Broken up all day. 3rd and 10. Go and punt the ball on that first possession. Already against Michigan State as well. I mean, this man owns Michigan State. Quarterback trying to just little dump off there to the running back in the kind of safety valve route, and he's able to break it up. I mean, he doesn't even break it up. The defender just drops it because he knows he's about to get smacked by Greg Newsome. I mean, look at this. He has to jump up high, expose his body. He knows Greg Newsome's barreling down on me. He's like, Michigan quarterback, why'd you make me go up and get this ball? Damn, I'm about to get hit, man. I'm about to get hit, but I'm going to try to catch it. And he doesn't. He doesn't. Oh, man, Greg Newsome. Yes, sir. A force to be reckoned with. All right, against Stanford now. Oh, my God. The quarterback just drops the ball out here. And there he is at the right place at the right time. And, oh, damn, he couldn't break it all the way for the scoop and score. But, hey, just playing at the right time, sees that the ball is free, able to kind of scoop it up and continue to kind of run with it to get, what was that, 10 extra yards there. All right, here we go in the red zone against Michigan State. And we know how this one's going to get played out, right? He owns Michigan State. He owns the red zone. Yes, sir. Great job there. Tough throw to make because he's so well covered and no real chance here. Bad ball. Great breakup, I guess, at the end, maybe. Ooh, little wheel route action here by Nebraska on 3rd and 9, and he comes up and makes an absolute big old hit there. Oh, my God. Sending the receiver flying like 2 yards backwards on this hit. Yes, sir. Great hit stick. Love it. Woof. Great coverage ability. Great hit stick. Alrighty, on 4th and 1, they shut it down. He's able to shut it down here against Michigan State. If you're in Michigan, he's ready to kind of destroy you. Here it is. Watch this man just kind of get that big hit, force him back. He was the first one there, folks. He was the first one there to hit the point of attack to stop this 4th and inches, 4th and 1, stop, run up the middle. Yes, sir. Whew. If you could stop 4th and 1 by yourself, basically, yes, sir. Alrighty, nice little swing pass to the running back in the backfield. He's able to get like maybe 1 or 2 yards, but he's able to bring him down. Surefire tackle out there in the open field on the running backs. Absolutely magnificent. Alrighty, Greg Newsome kind of won me over a little bit. Now the only thing that we have to really kind of take into consideration is the injuries. How much of an impact are those injuries? Injured every single season. I mean, he never even played a full season. I mean, folks, look at this. 6 games his first season, 8 games his second season. 3 games his last season. So injuries, man, definitely holding this man back, but everything that we just saw out on the field, I absolutely love it. Step for step on all those receivers, he's got the speed to keep up with them. He can, play the ball at the last second. He can, break out. He can break up the pass before it even gets kind of in the hands of the receivers. He can break up the ball after it's in the hands of the receivers. He can force you out of bounds if you somehow catch the ball over him, and he's able to kind of get some nice big hits as well in the open field. So very, very well done by Greg Newsome winning us over. It's just, do we take the risk with the injuries? That's the only big knock on him. And we are a little deep here at cornerback in the draft. So, I mean, we're obviously going to take these other players. I'm kind of blanking on some of these names real quick. Cornerbacks 2021 draft. Let me just look it up real quick. Refresh us a little bit. Corners. What 29 SEC standouts? That's not what I Googled, man. I said corners, CBs. All right, here we go. Position rankings. I guess I got to go to CBS Sports, and this isn't even loading. I ain't got all day to wait. This is a live show. All right, here we go. Let's go to corners. Alrighty, Caleb Fairley, Patrick Sutton, there it is. Asante Samuel, J.C. Horn. I was a big fan of J.C. Horn. Caleb Fairley's looking real good. So when we're kind of, comparing Greg Newsome, where do they have him even ranked? Where is CBS ranking this man? Greg Newsome. Oh my God. Am I missing him, or is he not even some of these top players out here? Holy cow, they have him ranked low. So much low, I don't even think he's on here. Wild. Wow. They said, injuries? You only played like 4 games all 4 years? Yeah, wow. Am I missing him, Greg Newsome? They don't even have, and they've ranked the cornerbacks up here. The last cornerback on this list that we see is Daryl Hall at number 183, folks. Wow. I like Greg Newsome. If that's a silver lining for the man, but CBS is not in love with the man. Not good. So definitely gotta be healthy. The health, his injuries are definitely holding him back there. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow live, noon Eastern, to do it all again. A new NFL draft prospect of the day, breaking down all the stories that happened and breaking down the NBA from last night. So join us back tomorrow live, noon Eastern, or whenever you watch. If you want to watch a little bit later, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. They're up on the podcasting platforms. They're up on YouTube. No worries. Alrighty, so we're back tomorrow live, noon Eastern. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.